Welcome to the Disconnect Report, a channel focused on exposing the disconnect between the narrative of global forces and everyday reality. Today's disconnect: Silicon Valley promised AI would revolutionize business and liberate workers. The reality? 95% of companies are hemorrhaging money while tech giants pretend everything's fine. The artificial intelligence revolution was supposed to arrive like a precision strike, swift, surgical, transformative. Instead, it stumbled into American businesses like a drunk wedding guest, promising the world while accidentally setting the curtains on fire. Here's an example of what's actually happening right now. At a Taco Bell drive-thru in Phoenix, a frustrated customer spent 12 minutes, I kid you not, 12 full minutes, arguing with an AI system that kept adding something called mouth soup to every order. On top of this, the machine absolutely refused to acknowledge that soft tacos exist. And this isn't some rare glitch. Across 500 Taco Bell locations, employees are keeping actual tally boards of the AI's most bizarre interpretations. Their chief technology officer, Dave Matthews, told the Wall Street Journal, and I quote, "Sometimes it lets me down, but sometimes it really surprises me." That's not exactly a ringing endorsement for technology that's supposed to revolutionize business. McDonald's? They completely scrapped their AI drive-thru experiment after it added bacon to ice cream orders and charged one customer $900 for chicken nuggets they never ordered. This is real, folks. $900 for nuggets. Now, you might think these fast food disasters are just funny stories, but here's where it gets serious. MIT researchers just released a study that sent $200 billion evaporating from tech stocks in a single afternoon. They examined 500 companies implementing AI and found that 95% of businesses pumping millions into artificial intelligence are getting nothing back. That's right, nothing. Just headaches and ballooning budgets. Wall Street completely panicked. NVIDIA, the company making all those AI chips, lost $140 billion in market cap within hours. That's billion with a B. Palantir dropped 9% in minutes. Investors were literally reaching for antacids. But here's what most people missed. This isn't about AI failing to meet some lofty expectations. This is about AI actively making businesses worse. Let me share what's really happening in offices across America right now. Deep in the trenches of corporate America, workers are in full revolt. One Reddit user posted this: "My company paid for some AI scheduling software a few months ago, thinking it could free up the accounts team. Now the accounts team is doing extra work making sure the program isn't messing everything up. Our production team, that never had to worry about schedules, is now double and triple checking everything." Another worker in a medical setting wrote, "We really don't trust the new file sorting and labeling system. Names, date of birth, insurance data has to be perfect. AI is less than that. Sometimes it thinks the doctor is the patient." Think about that for a second. The AI literally can't tell the difference between a doctor and a patient. One Fortune 500 company, they asked not to be named, bought a scheduling system for $3.2 million. Mind you, that's $3.2 million for a scheduling system that requires 4 full-time employees just to fix its mistakes. These are the same people who used to do the scheduling themselves, except they did it in half the time without the AI. But wait, it gets worse. Healthcare facilities are living in an absolute nightmare. One Chicago hospital discovered their AI documentation system was creating what the staff now call ghost patients. I'm not making this up. The AI literally invented a 92-year-old marathon runner with type 1 diabetes who was somehow simultaneously pregnant and had undergone a liver transplant the previous Tuesday. The previous Tuesday. Are you kidding me? The hospital's legal department must have aged 5 years and 5 weeks trying to deal with this mess. And here's the kicker. These aren't edge cases or growing pains. This is a fundamental problem with how AI actually works. You see, everything we call artificial intelligence today goes back to a 2017 Google research paper about something called transformer neural networks. Sounds impressive, right? But here's what it actually does. It predicts the next word in a sequence. That's it. The AI doesn't understand anything. It's just insanely good at guessing what word comes next, like a parrot that's memorized Wikipedia but has no idea what any of it means. The tech industry even has this cute little term for when AI makes stuff up. They call them hallucinations. Hallucinations, like the AI is some artist having creative visions. But here's the reality. It's like hiring an employee who lies convincingly 15% of the time, and you never, ever know which 15%. Listen to this. A project manager at a major consulting firm, again, can't name who, described their AI note-taking system like this. It's like having a creative writing major summarize our meetings while high. The system captures 80% accurately, then fills the remaining 20% with completely made-up action items and decisions nobody made. One time, the AI recorded that the entire team had unanimously agreed to relocate their operation to Antarctica. To Antarctica? For what, you ask? To reduce cooling costs for their servers. What about the insurance industry? Well, they learned this lesson with a $47 million price tag. Their AI claims processor started approving payouts for accidents that never happened, while simultaneously denying real claims for the most bizarre reasons. One rejection letter, and this is verbatim, told a customer their fender bender wasn't covered because the accident occurred during a leap year on a Tuesday, which violates subsection J of the Lunar Transit Clause. Problem is, there's no such thing as a Lunar Transit Clause, and the accident happened on a Thursday. Now, remember the original promise? AI was supposed to liberate workers from mundane tasks. We'd all be free to do creative and strategic thinking. Instead, here's what's actually happening. Companies are reporting that employees spend more time checking the AI's homework than they ever spent doing the original work. A senior accountant at a major retail chain explained it perfectly. Our AI system does in 10 seconds what used to take me an hour, but then I spend 90 minutes fixing what it did in those 10 seconds. My productivity has somehow become negative. I'm professionally going backwards through time. And this isn't people being resistant to change. This is mathematical reality. When your AI is only 85 to 90% accurate, all that time you saved gets eaten up by quality control. It's like hiring the world's fastest typist who randomly replaces every 7th word with banana. Sure, they type fast, but good luck with that report. The legal profession discovered this the hard way. A major New York firm's AI research assistant didn't just misinterpret cases. It invented entirely fictional lawsuits with compelling details, judges who never existed, and legal principles that sounded totally plausible but were completely made up. One attorney nearly submitted a brief citing Johnson versus the concept of Wednesday. The AI insisted this case established precedent for temporal litigation. Temporal litigation? While real businesses are drowning in AI disasters, Silicon Valley is having the world's most expensive bonfire. Let me put this in perspective. Meta, Facebook's parent company, owns 600,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs. That's technical talk for $24 billion worth of hardware. $24 billion. And what did they create? An open source language model that most developers describe as impressively mediocre. Meanwhile, Google has just 26,000 of these GPUs, which is 23 times fewer, and they created AlphaFold, which literally solved one of biology's greatest challenges and might accelerate drug discovery by decades. One analyst called Meta's approach the most expensive way to achieve nothing in human history. Here's where it gets truly insane. Morgan Stanley projects that companies will spend $3 trillion, that's trillion with a T, on data centers over the next 3 years, all betting that AI will cut costs by 40%. But the companies are already using AI right now, and they're reporting cost increases of 30% just to manage all the mistakes. And then there's OpenAI. Sam Altman's company burns through $40 billion a year in operating costs. Their revenue? About $20 billion. That's a $20 billion annual loss. Pets.com, the poster child of the dot-com crash, looks like a Warren Buffett investment compared to this. Now let's talk about energy for a second. AI has increased US electricity usage by 4% in just 18 months. That's like adding the entire city of Chicago to the power grid. One data center in Virginia, just one, now uses more electricity than the entire island of Bermuda. We're literally burning the planet so an AI can confuse a request for a large Coke with someone wanting to speak to the manager about their divorce. That actually happened last week in Ohio, by the way. But here's the twist. MIT's report found something fascinating. Young startups, we're talking founders who can't even legally rent a car yet, are making tens of millions with AI. The difference? They're not trying to revolutionize everything. They're solving one specific problem and doing it really, really well. We have stories of a 22-year-old who built an AI that only does one thing: optimizes parking garage pricing. That's it, nothing else. His company made $18 million in 12 months. Another startup just predicts when industrial refrigerators need maintenance. Boring, right? Except they're saving grocery chains millions in prevented spoilage. See the pattern? AI works when it augments human decision-making in narrow, specific contexts where 85% accuracy is good enough. It completely fails when companies expect it to replace human judgment in complex situations where mistakes matter. Take Klarna, for example. 2 years ago, they froze hiring and started replacing human staff with AI. Their headcount dropped from 3,800 to 2,000 employees. Klarna proudly announced their AI chatbots were doing the work of 800 people. But then, reality hit. Customer satisfaction plummeted. Turns out, people actually want to talk to humans when they have problems. Who would have thought? If you're old enough to remember the late 1990s, all of this should feel eerily familiar. The dot-com bubble was exactly like this. Companies would literally just add .com to their name and watch their stock price triple. Pets.com, remember them? They spent $11.8 million on marketing in 2000. Their revenue that year? $619,000. They went bankrupt 9 months later, but their sock puppet mascot became more famous than most Fortune 500 CEOs. Today's AI bubble is following the exact same playbook. Companies announce AI initiatives, which basically means they're using ChatGPT to write emails, and their stock jumps 20%. OpenAI is losing $20 billion a year, and investors are calling it the future. At least Pets.com sold actual dog food. You know the Gartner hype cycle? That chart every tech consultant loves? We're at what they call the peak of inflated expectations. What comes next is the trough of disillusionment, which is corporate speak for everyone realizes they've been sold magic beans. After that comes the slope of enlightenment, which basically means finally figuring out what this stuff is actually good for. Fortune magazine said it best. The companies cutting people today in the name of AI will be the ones playing catch-up tomorrow. They're right. A report found that 55% of companies already regret replacing people with AI. There's a bank, I won't name them, that fired their customer service team for an AI chatbot. The bot was so bad, they literally begged their old employees to come back. So here's the bottom line. The solution isn't abandoning AI. It's abandoning the fantasy that current technology can actually think. Large language models are pattern matching engines, not digital consciousness. They're excellent at specific tasks: translation, transcription, pattern recognition. They're terrible at anything requiring real understanding or the ability to say, "I don't know." The companies succeeding with AI all have one thing in common. They use it for narrow, specific applications. They keep humans in the loop, and they accept that 100% accuracy is impossible. They treat AI like a calculator that occasionally insists 2 + 2 = purple. You don't fire your accounting department and give the calculator the keys to the company. You use it for what it's good at and stay skeptical about everything else. Now, here's what I think is coming down the pipeline. Venture capital is going to dry up faster than water in the Sahara. Stock valuations will crash back to reality, probably taking the express elevator down. Companies will quietly start rehiring all those humans they triumphantly replaced. We're heading for an AI winter that'll make previous ones look like a mild frost. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying AI is going to die out completely. What I'm saying is that from that frozen ground is where real innovation will eventually grow. Not these grandiose promises of digital gods solving all our problems, but practical tools that actually help humans do their jobs better. The real AI revolution won't announce itself with massive press releases and billion-dollar valuations. It'll arrive quietly, built by someone young enough to have missed this entire hype cycle. Until then, we're stuck with technology that can write poetry, generate art, and hold seemingly intelligent conversations, but can't take a fast food order without adding bacon to your ice cream. The future has arrived, folks, and honestly, it's exactly as ridiculous as we should have expected. So what do you think? Are we in a massive bubble that's about to pop, or is the next breakthrough just around the corner? Let me know in the comments below. This has been a deep dive into the reality of AI implementation, And if you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe for more tech reality checks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.